because obviously just everyone wants to grab you and take a photo with you.
That's so awesome.
How does it feel to be here in Houston, Texas?
I love Texas. I love Houston. You know, we gave 80,000 pillows that time for Hurricane Harvey.
I didn't know that, but I love you guys even more now.
Yeah, my girlfriend's from down here, so in Lufkin, Texas. So it's I come here all the time. Yeah.
Do you have any idea how many rallies you've been to? I know I've seen you at least 3. I feel like.
I think this might be my 5th, but I've been to a lot of fundraisers. I just want to help out in every way I can with my platform. It's the most important midterm election in history.
When you say platform, you just mean your support for President Trump?
Yes, I met him ever since the day I met him. I walked out of his office in that private meeting. He was going to do. He told me all these things he was going to do, and he hasn't let me down. I tell people all the time. I say, back then we voted him in on faith, and now we have proof of everything that's went on. And we need to everybody get together, tell your friends, family to get out and vote. And I always say this. I say everybody loves our president. Some just don't know it yet.
They would love him if they would just push politics aside. Everyone would love him.
Because he solves problems. It's so common sense. And I mean, as a businessman, I see what he does. He takes it all in, and he has just an amazing thing. He's picked by God to run this country, and I know that it's a divine appointment. And he knows he gets such wisdom and discernment, and is able to make great decisions.
No, I've seen you speak before at some of his rallies. Are you going to be an opening speaker today?
No, I'm just here. I love getting in with the people and talking to people and giving them all my credibility onto Ted Cruz down here. Everybody that the president's here for. And but no, there's so many people locally here. I think that are going to be speaking. And I was just with Laura and Eric Trump upstairs, and they're very dear friends now. And I was with Laura came to Minneapolis to help out there, and I did a thing with her there, an event with her. So I've just it's been a lot of fun for me going around and the people, everybody. I think now they don't come up to me so much as for the pillow. They come up to me my transformation where I used to be a crack cocaine addict on January 16, 2009, by the grace of God, I prayed and I was freed of all these addictions, and now I'm setting up I'm actually going to be at the White House on Wednesday for the opiate crisis that we're working on and trying to solve all these things with the opiates. Such a tragedy now, and I want to get the right people voted in so we can keep on that path and getting all these things and getting rid of some of the regulations that were able to help everybody. So
I've seen that President Trump, one of the policies he's working on is actually going to sue opioid makers because there need to be more regulations. Do you have any other suggestions for what he can do to help the opioid crisis in the U.S.?
I'll tell you what I'm doing personally, and by him taking the regulation and helping the faith-based treatment centers. These are the ones that work. Your Salvation Army, your Teen Challenge, your Union Gospels. These are the treatment centers that have worked in our country. The Salvation goes back all the way to the early or late 1800s. But what I have, it's going to be coming out. I'll tell it here first. It's called the Lindell Recovery Network, and you're going to be able to, if you're a 22-year-old opiate addict, let's say you put in your age and you put in what you're addicted to, and all these stories that I'm gathering of hope come down your age. So you'll go, wow, and they've all made it through. And then I'm going to be like their tour guide on the website. I'm going to say, now you go over here, and all these centers of help that I have vetted in this country over the last year, they go, you know what? You'll go to one of these centers, you get help, and when you come out, I'll be there for you. I'm going to have paid mentors. The biggest employer, I wanted to make one of the biggest employers in the country, where I'm going to employ all these mentors to help them when they come out. Because a lot of times when addicts come out of treatment, they don't have anything. They don't have trust. People aren't going to trust them right away. And exactly. I'm going to be doing it for the prisons too. So, but there's so many things the president's working on now. They always try and stop stuff to me, especially with the faith-based centers. Okay, we'll give you money, but then you can't. You got to take Jesus out of the equation. It's wrong. You need these centers to help people so they have a base when they get out. And it's going to be amazing. I can see the opiate crisis is going to be. We're going to tackle it head on the same way it happened, where it happened so fast and got so big so fast, and people relate to their own age group and their own addiction. Like for me, I had my friend come to me. I had been a cocaine addict for 20 years and a crack addict for 9. But my friend came to me 1 month before I quit, and he had been, for 3 years, he had been clean. And I go, Dick, what are you doing here? And he goes, and he had found Jesus, he had gotten, saved, and he said, I said, I said, as long as you're here, I hadn't seen him in a year, I knew he had been straight. And he goes, I said, what do you, is it boring? And he goes, no, man, it isn't boring. But I had all these questions that only he could answer. Where like a 28-year-old opiate addict might not be able to relate to a 50-year-old meth addict, You got to it's like a match. And when you get a match, and then you see all these stories of hope, it's going to be so amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You really are incredible. I had no idea about your history. When growing up, I just saw you as MyPillow guy. I always saw you on my TV, all the commercials, and this just makes me love and respect you even more. I know where my pillows are going to be coming from. And as a 25-year-old growing up in the United States right now, just to hear your story and the fact that you could go through that and become who you are, and also an opening speaker for the President of the United States, a successful businessman, and a recovery from addiction, it's absolutely mind-blowing. I know that my generation often struggles just with mental illness right now because there's so much pressure on kind of what to do with their life at this point and with the economy, but things are finally opening up. But to also hear your successful story, it's very enlightening.
And like MyPillow, I take addicts that have gotten help. I give them second chances, And I'll tell you, even like the Salvation Army, they'll take people at an amazing treatment center, but nobody knows about them. Well, what they'll do then is employers that are out there, they grab them as soon as they come out of there because they know they're amazing people. Addicts are amazing people. They're just hiding pain. They're hiding pain, and I hope my story will help. I'm going to have a book coming out that's going to help so many people, give them hope. I just want to give them hope, and then to be able to, to take that. People need hope nowadays, and that, and our president is our hope for this country and for a lot of things.
Did you have any idea back before 2009 when you were struggling with this that your life would lead to where you are?
Well, that's interesting you say that. I used to always I would get these dreams, and I used to always tell people, and even my drug dealers, that I would come back someday and MyPillow was going to be a platform for helping people. And the dealers did an intervention on me. You can look the story up online. They did it. I've been up for 14 days. They did an intervention on me and wouldn't sell me any drugs. And I couldn't get him on the streets. And he came upstairs. I came upstairs at 3 a.m. And I said, and he took a picture. And he goes, here, you're going to need this for your book. You've been telling us for years that you're going to come back and help us and help the inner cities and help us with our addictions, and we're not going to let you die on us. And I'd always tell him that my platform was a platform for God. The pillow was just a platform that had meant all it was to set up the fame for it to be able to help people and get that story of hope out there.
And also, of all things, to be an entrepreneur of a pillow, it's kind of symbolic just to be able to fall asleep and wake up and have a whole new day coming to you.
I know, because sleep affects everything we do. Quality sleep affects everything. It's not, they used to have commercials that said, well, we spend a third of our life sleeping. I'm going, what about the other 2/3 that quality affects? How, why do you think we have sayings like, oh, you better go back to bed, or you need a nap, or you must have woke up on the wrong side of the bed? Well, like my employees, the first thing I do at MyPillow, I give them all pillows so that they go, they work hard, they sleep, and then they have the same passion I do to help people.
I love that.
Yeah, and we've sold 43 million pillows now. It's just, we went from 5 employees to 500 back in 2011. And it was interesting when you asked me about my calling there. When I did the first infomercial, people don't know this, but it was I was turned down everywhere, so I got my friends and family together. We pooled our money. We had a real audience and just a friend of mine. And the night before, this producer, he texted the other guy. We were doing our reads. He said, this is the worst guy I've ever seen on TV. He will never make it. This will be a disaster.
You're a natural. He's an idiot.
Well, he didn't know it, but the next day, because I was off drugs. Drugs are to mask pain and stuff, and I couldn't talk to 2 people at the same time without being on drugs. So for me, I had a fear of rejection. I think most people, they get my parents divorced when I was 7. So when they divorced, I was put into a new school, and you have fear, acceptance and unworthiness and rejection. I think so much of our youth go through that, and then they turn to drugs to be, to mask their pain. Well, the night we did that first infomercial, the next day, I had 9 times I come in and 9 reads, and finally I said, you're going to have to throw that teleprompter away and we'll just do it naturally with a table like I did at home shows and fairs, and it was huge.
You're kind of like President Trump when it comes to mad-libbing. Sometimes it's better just to be your natural self. My final question, because I think some more people want to take selfies with you, is, I'll give it to you, is have you seen any success or decline in pillow sales since coming out in support for President Trump?
It's been amazing. I would say we probably tripled in size since my support of President Trump. When I met him in the summer of 2016, I was advised by everybody, don't go all in, and I went all in publicly. I got that in prayer. God said, you to back this man. Well, I went and did my due diligence. I met him. He was the most amazing guy, and talked to his employees, and all his employees felt the same way about him that my employees feel about me. So MyPillow just exploded. Have I been attacked? Absolutely. But our busiest day is always the day we're in, and it's exciting. Anyone out there that owns a business, they'll say boycott MyPillow. They go, don't boycott him. He'll just double down. I'm all in, and that's where I'm going. And my employees, we all feel the same. It's like, our country's going in a great direction. Everybody's getting employed now, and wages are skyrocketing. It's exciting times.
You're incredible. I absolutely love to get the opportunity to know you better, and I look forward to seeing you at the next rally that you're most likely going to be speaking at. I'm Liz Willis, and I know my co-host Alyssa wants to ask you a question, and then we'll let you free up.
Yes. Thank you. Just one quick question. You're from Minnesota, right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Would you ever run for office there?
I've said this before, when they've asked me many times to run for every kind of office they can. If God, right now, no, but if God had me do it, if I got it in prayer to do it, I would obey God just like I did when I went all in for President Trump, the best president in history.
Yes, he's wonderful. Thank you so much. Any final thoughts?
Well, like I said before, everybody loves our president. Some just don't know it yet.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Lindell. Have a great one. So nice to meet you. Thank you.